Across America and around the world, you're listening once again to the Hour of the Time. I'm your host, William Cooper.
Is there a group of men and women out there who are secretly controlling our finances, our media, communications, and every aspect of our lives? Well, my two guests think that there very well might be. We have Jordan Maxwell, who has made an appearance in Ancient Mysteries of the Bible on CBS with William Devane hosting it, and he's agreed to come back and do the sequel. And we have Anthony J. Hilder of Radio Free World. Jordan Maxwell's name, there's a quote that I'd like to bring to your attention, and I'd like to start off with Jordan answering this. It is probable that most of the public figures and military men involved in the secret scheme are unaware of the real goals or who is really behind it. Jordan, I've got to ask, what's going on here?
Well, let's start with a term that we're hearing quite a bit about in the last couple of years, the New World Order. Our president is going all around the world proclaiming a New World Order. Incidentally, all the presidents, living presidents, along with many of the heads of state throughout the world are going to meet, according to the LA Times, are going to meet in the year 2000 at the pyramid in Egypt to bring in what is called the New World Order. There is something going on here on an international, worldwide scale right before our eyes, but that so many of us are unaware, and consequently we're not really seeing what is happening. There is, in fact, a conspiracy or a planned world domination coming by this thing that George Bush calls a New World Order. On the back of the $1 bill, there are a lot of important occult symbolism on the back of the $1 bill. On the left-hand side, you'll see the pyramid, and the pyramid of Egypt. That's an Egyptian pyramid on an American dollar bill. The significance is very important. Above the pyramid, you will see the words Annuit Coeptus, which basically means in Latin, our enterprise is a success, or our project has been crowned with success. And the project, which is a success, is on the banner beneath the pyramid, Novus Ordo Seclorum, being Latin for New Order of the World, or the New World Order. On the bottom of the pyramid, you will see the Roman numerals for 1776. This exact identical emblem of the pyramid within the circle, the Novus Ordo Seclorum, it was not original in America. It was first found on writings that are today in museums in Europe in the year 1774, 1775 by a man named Adam Weishaupt, who founded the Bavarian Order of the Illuminati, a secret society of Freemasons operating in Europe that had designs on the entire world and to bring about what they call a New World Order. So that emblem on the back of the dollar bill on the left-hand side with the pyramid is not an American symbol. It is a very old symbol coming from
you should bring out the fact that this is the order of the Illuminati.
Yes.
And the May 1st, 1776 did not signify the creation of the United States of America,
no,
but the order of the Illuminati for the enlightened ones, or the Luciferians.
Yes.
And this is a satanic symbol. It is on the cover of the Illuminati documents from May 1st, 1776, which obviously precedes the birth of this nation on July 4th, 1776. And at the very top of the pyramid, there's the Agpu, all-seeing eye, which was the name of the Soviet secret police during the Stalin era.
Right, now, Anthony, you spent most of your life studying these secret societies and the Illuminati, and you put out a record some time ago called the Illuminati
CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, right.
Right. This is, I've heard various charlatans coming out talking about the Illuminati, but I was wondering if you could get into a little bit more detail about the history of this organization and some of the more, you were talking about the eagle, for instance, and the pyramids and that sort of thing,
right.
And talk a little bit about the Freemasonry origins of the Illuminati.
Well, let me just make this one comment first, and then Anthony can go on with it. At the top of the pyramid, you'll see the little triangle with the eye in it. The eye was the eye of Horus. Horus was the eye of God, the sun. And so the sun represented the pupil, or the eye of God, in the ancient Egyptian philosophy. And that's why you'll see the light emanating from around the eye. So it's the worship of light, Luciferianism. It's the worship of the coming forth of light into the world. And therefore our masters, these manipulating masters behind the scenes of world government who are manipulating all peoples, consider themselves to be enlightened despots, enlightened people. And of course, when you go to university, you graduate from a university, you wear the Masonic square of Freemasonry on your head to symbolize that you're an alumni. Alumni comes from the word illumini. You have been illuminated into the enlightened power structure of the New World Order. That's the actual basis for these symbols, and to go on with the rest of the symbolism.
Well, I think it's important to bring out the fact that George Bush did not write the New World Order. In fact, if you want to know who wrote the New World Order, you simply go back to Adolf Hitler. It wasn't his first book, that was Mein Kampf. The second book,
right,
the New World Order. Right. And Rudolf Hess went out and said, in introduction of Hitler, he said, Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer. One world, one race, one ruler. That's what this whole United Nations is all about, and I'm for a free world. That's in total opposition to the New World Order.
Well, Bush's New World Order may have come from Adolf Hitler, but Bill Clinton's New Covenant clearly comes from the Old Testament.
All right, now, the New Covenant, that is a catchphrase. That is a term which has been used for at least 500 years by a secret society of Freemasons in Europe called the British Israel World Federation. British Israel World Federation, you can see topics in movies based on this subject, like there's a motion picture just come out called The Handmaiden's Tale, based on British Israel philosophy for America. A secret society of Freemasons promoting something that is called, as far back as 500 years ago, British Israel philosophy, Anglo-Israel philosophy, which is tying in the Old Testament governmental system to be the basis for a new world order in the coming future. And that's why the symbolism...
Clinton went to Oxford, didn't
he? And it has to do with Rhodes Scholar. Right. The Rhodes Scholarship Foundation, and this whole thing of a new covenant comes directly from British Israel Freemasonry. Rhodes Scholar, the Rhodes Scholarship of England. So we can get into that. We can get into all of the occult significance of the Democratic Party, his term of the covenant, the new covenant.
And Cecil Rhodes was the founder of Rhodesia. That's where Rhodesia got its name. And we had a little thing called the Round Table, and some of these Luciferian groups. And I say Luciferian, I mean it. Like George Bush is a member of the Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
Now, in the Skull and Bones fraternity, this is the Faustian financial fraternity that started up at Yale University in 1832. Came over here as a bounce off of the Jacobin Society, which was involved in the French Revolution and the Reign of Terror.